Emily was born screaming, and she didn't stop screaming until she was about 5 months old. And it was right when she learned how to crawl, that's when she became a happy child.
Yeah.
Until she could get what she wanted.
It's her nickname. We gave her the nickname Stitch from Lilo and Stitch because of the screaming and the mischievous and running around.
Christmas time of 2011, she started becoming less full of life. She stopped playing. She was tired all the time. She wanted to be held all the time. I took her to the doctor and he said, I don't know what's going on, you know, she looks fine to me. He told me to bring her back in a few days if I was still concerned. So I took her back to the doctor and I said, something's still wrong. And he still just said, I don't know, you know, she looks fine to me. And he checked, you know, he checked everything, eyes, ears, nose, and she wasn't sick at all. So we took her to UC Davis Medical Center. They took her back and they did a full exam. The doctor came back in, Dr. Owens, and I realized as she was walking in that a nurse followed her in and shut the door. And she put her hand on my shoulder and she looked me in my eyes and she said, Emily's blood work came back and her red blood cells and her platelets are really, really low and her white blood cells are really high and there's abnormal blood cells. She has leukemia. And they said that they'd be admitting her that night. They needed to start giving her blood and platelet transfusions right away. And she was gonna start chemotherapy. Thursday morning, we met the first of the oncologist team. She had a central line placed in her chest so that they could administer everything that they needed to easily.
And that's where most of my questions came.
Yeah.
Was when the line was put in, as I was like, wait, what? You're doing what? I was like, no, we need to get the testing back first before you do that, before you go that far. Kind of stopped asking questions just because I just wanted to be there for Emily.
Less than a week after she was diagnosed, she had her first spinal tap with chemotherapy directed into her spinal fluid, and they tested her spinal fluid that day. She was separated from her siblings, and that in itself was just a whole other dimension of tragedy to it. It was so hard.
She actually went into septic shock, and UC Davis actually saved her life. Dealing with a child with leukemia was very complicated to go through. If I was going to be strong for my other kids and for Christina and Emily, that I had to focus on being positive. It's a little bit easier now because she's in remission and she's on, you know, maintenance. She's acting like we always thought she would act, you know, from when she was a baby. She's developing her own character. She's
back to the Stitch she was before she started getting sick. We truly believe organizations like Leukemia Lymphoma Society have saved her life.
Everything that LLS helps out with, it's above and beyond needed in their treatments and in their lives.